Jameel Ahmad, the Global Chief Market Analyst, VP of Corporate Development at FXTM, a man who travels more than regularly. Jameel, in Beijing today, I gather?
That's correct. I'm in Beijing today, but no matter where I am in the world, it's always good to speak to you guys.
Let's get up to date with what's going on. Let's start locally, regionally, and then what you're doing in Beijing, and a quick look internationally, and then currencies. What's happening?
Sure. So locally, we've got a little bit of weakness in the equity market today. This is mainly because of profit taken in the oil markets. But I tell you what a more positive past couple of weeks it's been for the equity markets. And listeners heard it here first because WTI Oil, it finally closed above $35 over 10 days ago. And this was very positive for equity markets and also any of those markets that have economies that are linked to commodity exports. We're seeing a little bit of more weakness in oil today, a bit of profit taken. That's the only reason why there's a little bit more negative momentum in the equity markets. But now that oil has closed back above $35, and as long as it doesn't then trade back below $35 at a later stage, this means that local equity markets have now basically they've entered a more positive stage compared to the aggressive at the beginning of the year. So I'm in Beijing to meet the top-tier media this week. There's some interviews before going to Shanghai next week. One interesting thing that's happening right now is I'm getting asked a lot by the locals and even the top-tier media about the currency volatility with the RMB. And I find it fascinating because rather than people being concerned about the economic downturn, and yet still I'm not seeing any changes in consumer habits here, we have got concerns about currency weakness. But what I've been telling people is that, look, when the currency gets more internationalized, this is something that's going to become very common. And for those who live in the more developed markets, this is something that we become very accustomed to. One other thing I'm focusing on right now is the British pound, and specifically some weakness we're seeing once again. One reason because of the preliminary votes are suggesting that the UK referendum for late June is going to be very close, but also because Chancellor Osborne is set to give a budget today, which might not be very positive, and you just got to wonder, could you just imagine what kind of budgets would be coming out then? In regards to the international currency markets, we're seeing some dollar strength. US interest rate decision later this evening. While there's no expectations for the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates, there's at least some hope they might provide some sort of direction as to when they might raise interest rates again this year. This is positive for UAE dirham. Because of the USD strength, we're seeing some gold weakness. Euro is weakening. The British pound remained volatile over the past 2 days.